Hey, Melinda. Good morning, Melinda. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it is crazy, crazy weather. Oh, it's so crazy. It's been raining like every day, which I'm happy for that. It's been raining every day since the first day of summer, and that has kept it cool. Because like you said, this 111 degrees temperature. Yes, honey, it's been so hot, so hot. I don't even go outside. If I do anything, it'll be like really early in the morning and hurry up and get back inside. But this hurricane Bertha, I just hope it doesn't get here. I saw where it's heading to Louisiana. I'm not sure what part of Louisiana, but yeah, it's heading to Louisiana, and we're right next door to you guys, so it's gonna get to Texas, and I'm just hoping that it doesn't be a bad tropical storm. I'm hoping it's not. Whew, it's a lot. We Texas, Houston haven't had a bad storm in a couple of years. Remember when we had that wind where all they blew all of the power lines down and we didn't have electricity for 2 whole weeks, honey. But I don't know if that was last year or the year before last, and it came again. It came back again and blew the power lines down again, and we didn't have power that time for a week. So we had 3 weeks of just, and it happened in the summertime, and so we haven't had anything since. By them saying that it's Bertha starting with a B, I guess that's like, alphabet wise, that's kind of like the beginning of the tropical storm slash hurricanes. If they're going to go through, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And these hurricane season or tropical storm will be going on all the way until September. Or October. We just never know. We just need to stay prayed up. But in the meantime, I'm preparing. I hope we don't have any power outages, but if we do, I'm loaded up on water and food that you can eat without cooking, supplies, in other words. And Melinda says, we got some hurricane food. Oh, okay, that's right, this morning. And that's right, in case the electricity goes down. Exactly, exactly. I normally, like the day before it's supposed to hit, I normally make like maybe 10 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And then I would make some tuna. I would boil some eggs and make some tuna. You know what I mean? So, I can eat that, or I'll, definitely cook a lot of chicken and then, debone it and make some chicken salads, and leave some if I want to make some chicken sandwiches. And then, of course, I'm boiling like a dozen of eggs because sometimes you can just eat an egg, you know what I mean, and be okay. Along, make sure you have plenty of crackers and bread in the house. Canned juices, I can drink those without them being cold, or bottled juices like your orange juice, cranberry juice, apple juice, like that. And of course, candles. Lord, it's a lot, but we can really educate our families and friends. I spoke with my daughter, and she's so busy she doesn't even listen to the news at all, none of it. I'm like, we got a tropical storm coming. She's like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah. So make sure you get ready. She said, well, Mom, if you want to come over here, you're welcome. She has a nice house. My son does too. They both don't have any kids. But I told her thank you, but no, I'll stay here, at my own place because One thing about a tropical storm, and she lives on the other side of town, it just brings a lot of debris and sometimes falling trees. And so I don't want to drive, all the way on her side of town through the storm. And then when it's time for me to leave there, I'm running through streets that I can't go through, or it's a lot of debris in the street and ruin my tire, or it be water and I don't. So, but I appreciate the offer. I really do. She works from home. So, today is Wednesday. So I'm going to check with both of them tomorrow to make sure they got everything they need. And, we just going to go through. Yeah, I like my place too. And then I need to be here at my place in case anything goes wrong. You follow me? Like busted pipes or something, or busted windows from the wind, or, whatever. And I kind of need to be here to catch anything that may happen here. That's basically why. So, but I just went over to my brother's. They don't live in brick houses. They live in like wood frame houses. You know the kind, Melinda, that sits on blocks. So, I was saying, y'all ready? You kind of, got a plan in case this happened. You're going to do that. And over there are a lot of cats you may have seen from my shorts. About 13 cats. Oh my God. I guess the animals know what to do. The Lord, he got them, but my brother does have two dogs, two big, dogs. And I guess he's going to bring them inside. You follow me? As we go through that. They sure do, Melinda. They sure do, Sway. Because many, many years ago, when I was living in a house that my mother left for us, because nobody else wanted to live in it, it was a wood frame house on blocks. And we went through one of the worst hurricanes ever. And at the end, we didn't get flooded or anything, but when it was over, that house was leaning to the left. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like, whoa, I end up moving, take our dogs inside. Yeah, that's probably what my brother's going to do. They're used to coming in anyway. And one thing about dogs, they, if you got a bunch of dogs or whatever, that that bothers their ear. They'll be barking all night or whatever. They want to come inside. They want to come inside. And these are big dogs. So we just pray that, I pray that when it comes to Louisiana, it doesn't be that bad. They said 40 miles per hour. Has it increased, Melinda? Is it still going to be like that? Like maybe, 40 miles per hour wind? I'm hoping it dies down. I'm hoping it goes away, so, my little car out there, I live in an apartment, so I don't have a garage or anything. So, hoping it up. We just pray for, our safety. Okay, you still saying 40 miles per hour. Good. I mean, 40 miles per hour is not so bad, but with rain or what, that's not so bad. And my brother had a bunch of trees around his house, but he has been spending all year, like from January up to now, cutting down those trees. And there was a bunch of them, big trees, just, you know what I mean? So he doesn't have any trees on his property. But my neighbor, oh my God, they just got so many trees. And sometimes that's what happens. Your neighbor's trees just get to falling down. And that's what happened last time. My neighbor had 15 trees to fall down in his yard. and one on his house. And baby, it took about a year and a half to get all that stuff cut up and put on the curb. And oh my God, so like you say, those houses sway. We just pray that it doesn't sway. Woo. And some kids are due to go back to school in about 3 weeks from now. So by this coming through doesn't really help. You know what I mean? It's just, but anyway, we know we trust God, but this has been an El Nino kind of a year. 2026. Yes, honey. That neighbor right there, he just loves some trees. And he had all these trees, and it was, you know what I mean? And I'm like, golly, don't he want to cut some of that stuff down? And, he saw us cutting trees down, the old ones, the big ones, and the little ones, you know what I mean? But some people just love trees. They just, trees in the front, trees on the side, trees in the back. They just feel like the trees bring about shade. And this is an old man. He can barely walk. He lives alone. And, some people just like trees. My neighbors, they like, you know, but shoot, in Texas, no. It's just them old trees like that. When the ground get wet, it'll just fall down. You got a lot of trees, Melinda? So anyway, I appreciate you being a member. Shout out to Melinda for being a member. Shout out to you. I'm so excited about you and your family. Hey, Rose, the gas went down over here, Melinda, but it's going back up. It's going back up, I guess, because of the war that's going on right now. That's not talked about very much. And my heart goes out to the soldiers who have lost their lives. Yes, honey, they're not saying that much about it, but it's been quite a few soldiers, U.S. soldiers, who have lost their lives in this war. I guess they don't want to talk about it because it's less than 100, but even one or two, and it's more than one or two. The rest on your neighbor's yard, yeah. I hate when a neighbor has trees, but their branches stretch out towards your house. See, that same man I'm talking about, he had that going on, and my brother went over there and said that, hey, do you mind if I cut these branches that are stretching out over here? He said he didn't mind at all. So my brother cut those branches. Yes, girl, gas is going back up. I did a report I did some shorts on it. It soon will get back up to almost $5 a gallon. I call it the back to school gas prices because, yeah, families that need to go and take their kids to the doctor and take their kids to the dentist, and they are, what I mean, they're going places, they're doing shopping, they're going over here to shop, going over there to shop, and it takes money and gas to do all that. So shoot, the gas prices are getting back up there. I keep my tank on full. As soon as it go down a little bit, I'm talking about like, a little bit, I go right back and fill it up. So, I don't feel it so bad. Yeah, good for my brother. Yeah, that really helped because when we had that terrible storm, all of those same trees from, my brother had cut the branches off, those trees fell down too. Baby, if we had not cut those large branches that were stretching over there, we did get a little fence damage from some of the branches on their tree that hit our fence. We did get some fence, some kind of fence damage, but it could have been a whole lot worse if we had not cut some of those branches. So, and your neighbors really don't want to pay for that stuff. They don't have money to, when they damage your property, they don't really, all they are, I'm sorry, they're just sorry. So That's all they are. How you gonna get money out of a person that don't have it? So that was smart. My brother just went ahead and repaired the fence when those trees fell down. So, but yeah, Melinda. So I'm happy to see that you're still working, Melinda, because a lot of people lost their job due to this, due to that. So when I went over to your channel and saw that you're still going to work, I said, well, praise God, because so many people have lost their job. Either AI took over or the job just downsized or, just went out of business due to the economy. So that is a blessing. You the hardest working lady I know on here. You know what I mean? So that's really, really good. Yeah. Yeah. I had a birthday this month, Melinda. I made 71. I know you had a birthday in March. I went over to your page and you didn't even say nothing. You was real quiet about your birthday. I'm like, I didn't want to say anything on there like happy birthday. I knew it was March because you and Bill Doobie, both of y'all's birthdays are on the same day. And so, I said, okay, well, Melinda doesn't say anything about, hey, y'all, it's my birthday. Yes, work is a blessing. It is a blessing. Of course, I'm retired, but, YouTube is my little job, my little job. Girl, I thank God. I thank God. It's 71. My kids, I had them late. Okay, I had one child when I was 30, and I had the other child when I was 40. Oh, wow. Well, congratulations. 65 is good. Oh, my God. That's good, Melinda. And you're still working at 65. You're going to continue to work as long as you can. Yeah, that's a blessing. Yeah. I think you and Bill are the same age, 65. Yeah, so that's a blessing. That is a blessing. 65 is a blessing because I'm sure you know some friends and family that are younger than you, and for you to still be mentally, sharp enough to, work and stay alert, and still want to go. I know we wake up some days and our bodies are aching. And in fact, I went and got this pillow. I'm gonna show this pillow that I got because I kept waking up in the morning and I would have like a stiff neck and my arms would be like numb, and I would get up and exercise and like that. And I went to my doctor and explained to them, of course I Googled it too. And so she gave me a pillow, gave me a prescription for a pillow. And this pillow is so unique. It has a dip in the middle, but and it was my problem. That was the problem. It's like when you get older, your body, your neck, start reshaping. And this pillow is a lifesaver, a saver. I love this pillow. It's like, wow, it's the size of a regular size. The name of it says cervical support pillow. Cervical support pillow. And what it says it's polyester fiber. It's a sleeping pillow, and it shapes, you know, the cradle of your head. It supports your head and neck for better sleep. Yes, it does. It supports your head and neck. I'm gonna make some short videos on it. And it's by Roland, Rolyan. Okay, yeah, let me write that down too. So if you know anybody or if you're having a problem, waking up in the morning, it's by that. That's the brand I have. and it is called Cervical. I got an accent, y'all, so support pillow. And it's wonderful. It when you Google this thing, you will find out it's manufactured and mm. But anyway, because my brother was having the same problem. You know what I mean? His was bad. He woke up one morning, he had to stiff his neck. His lasted for like months, but I went immediately to my doctor. And so she said, okay. And she wrote me a prescription for this pillow. And I'm here to tell everybody, invest in this cervical support pillow. It's the best. I mean, the same night I slept on it. In fact, the moment I put my head down uh, on it, I just like, wow, it's like heaven. So yeah, I'm gonna be, talking more about it because, you don't have to be old to have this problem with, it's a good investment, I tell you that. It's a good investment. But yes, Melinda, I will be recording as the weather, as it gets closer and closer, when we start to get the rain, when we start to get the wind, I will be recording it until, I can't anymore. Like, I don't know if lightning and thundering is going to come with it. Of course, lightning and thunder is going to come with it. It's a tropical storm. But I will report as much as I can until I can't anymore. So another thing what we all can do is to power up all of our devices, our phones, our laptops. You know, oh, it was on break. Melinda, thank you. You too, baby. Keep in touch. I will be on your page. Thank you so much, y'all. That was Melinda Elliott, my friend, longtime friend. Long time. Melinda and I go back some years, and she is a monetized channel. And she's not only monetized on YouTube, she's monetized on Facebook and some other channels. She, like me, she's in Avon, I'm in Mary Kay. She does Avon, I'm in Mary Kay. So we both have a lot in common right there too. Because, of course, Avon sells cosmetics and a whole bunch of stuff. Avon has been around for over 100 years. So if you need any Avon products, get with Melissa. She has a link where you can just click on it and just order right there online. Unlike Mary Kay, I sell Mary Kay cosmetics, and you can't just go to my link and order. You have to order through me. Okay, so if y'all need any cleansers, moisturizers, any kind of lipstick, anything cosmetic, you can get with Avon, with Melinda, or you can get with me for the Mary Kay products. Yeah, so also, Melinda Elliott, she is a specialist in her field of work. Yeah, make sure you check out her channel, check out her lives. You follow me? She can answer a lot of your questions regarding things in the medical field. And so I'm glad she came through here today. We chit chat. She's on her break, and so she's gonna go back to work because it's 12:05 here. I think by her being in Louisiana and I'm in Texas, which is very close to each other, I think we share the same time. So if it's 12:06 here in Houston, I believe it's the same time. And both of us are concerned about this Hurricane Bertha, honey. Woo, we are concerned. Melinda says she's been getting like 110-degree heat. She's not lying. Same here. Same here, honey, in Houston. I just don't talk about it because I'm used to, you know, I don't know if Melinda has been getting a lot of rain, but here in Houston, honey, since the first day of summer, we got rain every day. And I thank God, because if it wasn't for the rain, oh, we would be in trouble. Everything would be brown because of that humidity and that heat. You follow me? So thank God for the rain. Now, for the last 2 days, we haven't gotten any rain. Now that was strange. Yeah, but we are bracing for Hurricane Bertha, the tropical storm. I guess y'all would say, well, no wonder it's been so hot. We got a hurricane coming. And so Melinda and I, we got family, big family, and we got animals. And we're just hoping that it won't be very, very bad. We're hoping that it'll die down. And if it doesn't die down, that it would just not be very bad storm, especially since it's the first storm, first tropical storm. It's been storming in so many places all around the world. And so Houston is, I guess, is our time, Lord. Okay, you guys, I will be back with another live. And thank you all who has come through. My moderator and member, Melinda, she chit chat with me on her break. Shout out to Melinda. Shout out to Tess from the Philippines. Man, it's very late in the Philippines, but she came through before she went to bed. So shout out to my girl Tess, my moderator and member. Shout out to Kat's channel. She too is from the Philippines. Both of them came through before they went to bed. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for your support. And I am your host, Miss Virginia. See you next time. Bye bye.